Hey guys, welcome to the fifth and the final module of this course, which is the fifth discipline, that is cultivate. So, business is a process, not an entity. Successful business are those who continuously adapt to the changes in the marketplace, the industry, the economy, and in the culture. So, living brands are not stylistic veneer but a pattern of behavior. So, they behave more like organisms than organizations, shifting and growing, dividing and combining as needed. So, unlike the old corporate paradigm, where they price the uniformity and consistency, the new brand paradigm sacrifices those qualities in favor of being alive and being dynamic. Well, if you're looking for perfection, it never existed. Control, forget about it. As entrepreneurial consultants advise their clients, don't worry and be crappy. Let the brand live, breathe, and make mistakes and be human. Instead of trying to present a Teflon smooth surface, project a 3D personality that consists of inconsistency and things like that. Brands can afford to be inconsistent as long as they don't abandon their defining attributes. They are also just like people. For example, in the morning you can wear a shirt and in the evening you will be wearing a t-shirt. One moment you can be serious and the next moment you will be laughing out loud. Despite these apparent inconsistencies in your dress and your behavior, your friends and colleagues will still recognize you. What makes you is deeper than the appearance and the moods. And I'll take one step further and say that brands that don't project depth and humanity tend to create suspicion among customers. So this old paradigm in which the identity system tried to control the look of an organization doesn't work anymore. So this new paradigm calls for heroes with flaws, the living brands. A living brand is a collaborative performance. Every person in the company is an actor. When a salesman lands on a client, when an admin takes a phone call, when a CFO issues a profit warning, when a product manager gives a demo, or when an accountant pays the invoice for these events, add depth and detail to the script. Just as how a new ad campaign or website does. So people read the script in their experience with the company and its communication, then retell their version it to others. When people's experience matches their expectations, their loyalty increases. So experts say that don't act, behave. Living brands are not like stylistic veneer, but a pattern of behavior that grows out of character. So when an external action of a company aligns with the internal culture, the brand resonates authenticity. So if a brand looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, and swims like a duck, then it must be a duck. And if it swims like a dog, however, people start to wonder or doubt on the brand. Let's say you differentiated, collaborated, innovated, and validated. You decided who you are, what you do, and why it matters. You added your left side of the brain to the right side, and now 1 plus 1 equals 11. You zigged when the entire competition zagged, and you ditched your outdated logo for a distinctive brand icon. Finally, you used the audience feedback to banish the fear of stupid from your corporate culture. Your brand is heading up the charts with a loyal tribe of customers and collaborators, and your margins are higher than ever. What's your next move? Pass out the commerces. So, what's a commerce? So, every person in the company should be issued a personal shock-proof brand meter, a durable set of ideas about what a brand is, what makes it tick. Because no decision, big or small, should be made without asking the $1,000,000 question. Will it help or hurt the brand? The secret of a living brand is that it lives throughout the company, not just the marketing department. Since branding is a process, not an entity, it can be learned, taught, replicated, and even cultivated. So, continuing education programs can get everyone in the company into the same page, while seminars, workshops, and some other events can keep outside collaborators in sync with the brand. The growing importance of a brand has a flip side. Its growing vulnerability, a failed launch, a wandering brand focus, a scandal, or something that can damage the credibility and decrease the brand value. Now, thanks to globalization, bad news not only travels fast, it travels far. 1 year alone, Amazon lost 31% of its brand value trying to extend its online book niche into a book, music, camera, appliances, baby furniture niche. So during the same period, the value of Starbucks grew 32%. Why do you think is that? Starbucks protected its brand and it reached its aromatic fingers further into the entire globe, spreading the experience but keeping the focus tight. For brand knowledge to become embedded throughout the organization, it has to be protected against evaporation. So evaporation meaning the tendency for a decisional wisdom to disappear as experienced people leave the company. So the long-term success for any brand depends on the constant regeneration of the corporate memory. Since the key people tend to stay in their position for 2 to 5 years, the challenge is to capture the brand knowledge and pass it to the next generation intact. So how do you do that? A brand education program that's distributed throughout the company and its creative network, guaranteeing the survival of the brand while keeping open to feedback from the brand community. As I said earlier, there are three basic models that have evolved for managing large-scale creative collaboration. The first two paths are the ones with the least resistance, outsourcing stewardship of the brand to a one-stop shop or to a brand agency. So the preference among these for the advanced branders are, however, is the third one, the internal stewardship of the brand with the help of an integrated marketing team. So Intel's worldwide creative director calls this a virtual agency, a concept that she has pioneered for the better part of the decade. So Intel and other companies who favor the integrated marketing model have learned how to recruit the best of the breed creative firms from around the world and get them to play together on an all-star team. So the more the brand becomes distributed, it requires more of a strong centralized management. So creativity can quickly turn into chaos in the absence of an adult supervision. So, and while controlled chaos is necessary for innovation and change, uncontrolled chaos can make a brand weird and confused. The growing need of an internal stewardship have given rise to the appointment of what we call a CBO or a Chief Branding Officer, who's highly experienced professionals who manage the brand collaboration at the highest corporate level. So CBOs are rare birds because they need the ability to strategize with the chief and also inspire the creativity among the troops. In the effect, they must form a human bridge across the brand gap, connecting the company's left brain with the right brain, bringing business strategy in line with the customer experience. A CBO is an executive who lies awake at night thinking, how can we build this brand? The main reason CBOs are rare is that few formal programs have been established to train them. Unlike CEOs, who can begin their career with a degree in business administration, CBOs have to work their knowledge back and forth in various positions of an advertising agencies, corporate marketing departments, design firms, consultant businesses, or any other creative firms until they reach a level of mastery. While they may start their careers with a degree in marketing or design, neither program by itself can teach how to combine logic and magic in the necessary proportions. Those who do master this alchemy tend to command middle or something like a six-figure salaries in their companies. In the last century, many companies have found themselves trapped in a vicious circle of R&D investment, initial market success, competitive pressure, and price cutting, until commoditization eventually forced them out of the market. Branding creates the opposite effect of a virtuous cycle. By combining logic and magic, a company can ignite a chain reaction that leads from differentiation to collaboration to innovation to validation and to finally cultivation. Built into cultivation is the mandate to question all assumptions, jump the status quo, and begin the cycle again. With each turn, the company and its brand spiral higher, taking it further from the commoditization and closer to the holy grail of marketing, a sustainable competitive advantage. A brand is not a logo. A brand is not a corporate identity system. It's a person's gut feeling when they think about a product, service, or a company. Because it depends on others for its existence. It must become a guarantee of a trustworthy behavior. Good branding makes a business integral to the society and creates opportunity for everyone. Now let's summarize what we learned so far in this module. Your business is not an entity but a living organism. A living brand is like a never-ending play. Every person in the company is an actor. People see the play whenever they experience the brand and they tell the others. Every brand contributor should develop a personal shock-proof brand meter. No decision should be made without asking, will it help the brand or will it hurt the brand? The growing importance of a brand has a flip side too. Its growing vulnerability, a failed launch, a drop in quality, or a scandal can damage the credibility. The more collaborative the brand becomes, the more centralized its management needs to be. The future of branding will require strong CBOs, the Chief Branding Officers, who can steward the brand from inside the company. Branding is a process that can be studied, analyzed, learned, taught, replicated, and managed. It's the CBO's job to document and spread this brand knowledge. Each lap around the branding circle, from differentiation to cultivation, takes the brand further from commoditization.